actually, this organization, foundation, is super connected. Everyone's really jumping on board, which is great.
Yeah.
Speaking of connections, are you on the whole social media front? Facebook, Twitter?
I am.
Let's plug that in. I want people to start following you as well.
I'm on Facebook. It's Judge Alex TV is the tag on the end of Facebook.com, and I'm on Twitter at Judge Alex Ferrer, and I'm constantly. In fact, I was just tweeting and posting about my being at this event and encouraging people to come out. So I try to keep in touch with my fans that way and try to post regularly about what's going on.
I like it. Now, what would you say is the hardest part about your career? I mean, you sit there and you listen to so many stories, and you're really like you're really technically playing God with the cases. Yes, no, and you allocate whoever it is.
It's kind of cool to be playing God. Spare, condemn, spare, condemn. You know. Right. No, I think the hardest part about my job is, unlike the other TV judges, I do it according to the law where the case originated. So if I'm trying a case from a couple out of Texas, because we take them out of courthouses all over the country, I have to learn Texas law for that case, and I tape 9 to 10 cases a day. So my first case might be California law, my second case will be Texas, third one Florida, fourth one New York, and I have to know the law when I get on the bench. So it's so much harder than when I was a judge in Miami. I only had to know Florida law. Now I've got to know the law from 50 states, and that's the hardest part.
How long would you say it takes you to prepare for a day? If you're shooting 9, they're all over the place. You got to learn so much, and you got to do so much of that research.
The days are long. I'm up at 6 in the morning, and I go to bed about 1 in the morning, 12:30, 1 in the morning. I'm shooting all day long, and then I go home at night, and I'm researching, or not researching, but reading the law that has been pulled for me at my request on the 9 to 10 cases for the next day. So I go to bed around 12:30, 1 in the morning, and I'm up at 6 again. I have to do that 3 days in a row, so by the third day, my brain is like a stalk of broccoli. You couldn't get an intelligent thought out of me if you tried, but you know, for the people at home, it's today's case. They don't know it's the 9th case on the 3rd day, and so you have to be on. You have to be sharp no matter what. That's pretty difficult.
Speaking about the law, the courtroom, something that everybody's talking about, Tom Cruise, and Surrey and Katie. What do you think is going to happen over there?
Well, I think it's pretty much wrapped up. I mean, honestly, I haven't been following their divorce. I think it's been finalized already, but I haven't really been following it too much. It's a shame, you know. It just seems like I'm sure that the divorce rate in Hollywood is probably not that much worse than the rest of the country, which is, you know, somewhere hovering around the 50% range or a little above that. But when celebrities get divorced, it makes the news. Nobody cares if your neighbor gets divorced, you know. So they get a lot more publicity. It's probably pretty much about the same as anywhere else.
Apparently they were saying that like if Tom was going to bring it to California and she wanted to keep it in New York, would that have changed anything?
It always changes something. If you know, your divorce is governed by the law of your locale, and so if you are in California, you know, the laws are different here in a community property state than it would be in some other state. So of course, there's always that jockeying when you have the kind of marriage that can be situated in different places because the couple's domicile varies according to whatever project they're working on. So yeah, absolutely, there's a strategic difference in trying to move a divorce from one location to another. Most people don't have that advantage.
You heard it from the real source over here. The triple threat. You're really the triple threat in the courtroom relative to all the other TV judges.
Yeah, I like that. I think I'm going to try and get that stenciled on my robe.
There you go. Triple threat, baby.
Hi, I'm Judge Alex, and you're watching me on SLTV.